We begin tonight with the Ford government's Greenbelt controversy. The potential investigation into it is now in the hands of the Mounties. Today, the Ontario Provincial Police said because of perceptions of a conflict of interest, it's referring the case to federal investigators. Jason Gaidola has the latest.
One day after the Housing Minister's Chief of Staff resigned over the Greenbelt land swap, the Ontario Police's review of the matters has been handed off to the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. The RCMP confirmed the referral today, saying they'll investigate irregularities in the disposition of the Greenbelt surrounding Toronto. We will review and assess the information received and will take the appropriate action as deemed necessary. Since January, the OPP officials were working to determine if they should conduct a probe into the Ford government, but added that after many inquiries and to avoid any potential perceived conflict of interest, the OPP referred this matter to the RCMP.
This is the same police force that investigated when Dalton McGuinty's chief of staff wiped out government hard drives and emails, and he ended up going to jail. So if the OPP could investigate the Premier's office when it was Liberal government, why can't they investigate it under the Doug Ford government?
Political analyst Keith Leslie believes if the RCMP proceed to investigate, it could be a long process.
And the Mounties disbanded their financial crime unit in Ontario 3 years ago. So now their expertise is gone.
I think they did the right thing. I won't question that at this moment. I just want to make sure that the right people are investigating or deciding whether to investigate, and that is the RCMP.
Premier Doug Ford's office responded to the OPP and RCMP exchange, saying the decision to refer the review of the matter was made independent of government. Following the Greenbelt report by the Auditor General, NDP opposition leader Marit Stiles believes there's enough evidence to warrant an investigation.
Not hesitated to call this corruption or collusion even. I think that there were clearly people who benefited and actually influenced government decisions, literally wrote the plans.
The Ontario Watchdog found that 14 sites removed from the Greenbelt were suggested not by civil servants, but by Housing Minister Stephen Clark's Chief of Staff, who developers had access to and wound up with 92% of removed land. The Premier's office announced yesterday that Ryan Amato resigned effective immediately. At her office in Dundas, local MPP Sandy Shaw echoes her leader's call to restore the Greenbelt and for the Tories to come back to Queen's Park.
We have written to the House Leader of Doug Ford's government saying, recall the legislature. Let's get back to work and let's get answers and let's unravel this terrible decision that you've made.
The OPP and the RCMP wouldn't answer questions today regarding the Greenbelt, and the Mounties added that they're in the early stages of its assessment. Now, meanwhile, Ontario's opposition leader restated her call for Housing Minister Stephen Clark to step down, and today we asked Doug Ford's office if the Premier will ask Clark to resign, and they simply replied with a no.